Hare Krishna. This morning we are reading from Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 11, Chapter 9, entitled Detachment from All That Is Material. Text number 15. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Haram mohi dukhaya vipalas chanuvatmana sarpapada kritam vishma Bhavishya Shukham Edhate Griharam Bahi Dukkaya Vipalaschanuvatmana Sarpapada Kritam Vishma Bhavishya Shukham Edhate Griharam Bahi Dukkaya Vipalas Chanhuman Vatmana Sapapara Kritam Vishma Pravishya Shukamedhate Mataji. Griha of a home. Arambha, construction. He certainly, dukhaya, leads to unhappiness. Viphala, fruitless. Cha, also. Adruva, impermanent. Atmanaha, of the living being. Sarpaha, a serpent. Parakritam, built by others. Vishma, home. Pavishya, having entered. Shukam, happily. Edhate, prospers. Translation: when a person living in a temporary material body tries to construct a happy home, the result is fruitless and miserable. The snake, however, enters a home that has been built by others and prospers happily. Please repeat. When a person living in a temporary material body tries to construct a happy home, the result is fruitless and miserable. The snake, however, enters a home that has been built by others and prospers happily. Purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Yesterday I said purport by last time I gave class, I said purport by Srila Prabhupada, because we're 11th canto now. It wasn't Srila Prabhupada translated up to the beginning of the 10th canto. And I was wondering, reading this purport, this doesn't sound like Srila Prabhupada's purport. Sounds a bit like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, but I think purports were done mainly by, if I'm not mistaken, Gopi Pranadhana. And here Dayananda Maharaj mostly used to do the Sanskrit translation. But empowered by their spiritual master Srila Prabhupada, they have completed the translation of Srimad Bhagvatam. The purport: the snake doesn't have the proclivity to build his own home, but rather lives in a suitable place constructed by other creatures. Thus, he does not entangle himself in the labor of home building. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur points out that although materialistic persons take unlimited pains to invent and mass produce electricity, automobiles, airplanes, etc., ultimately these things are meant for the convenience of the Vaishnavas who are preaching Krishna consciousness. The karmis will always go to such trouble, and the devotees will always offer such laborious productions to the Supreme Personality of Godhead by engaging them in His loving service. The devotees, being concerned with the ultimate perfection of life, do not personally struggle for material advancement. On the other hand, there is no need for the devotees to artificially imitate the austere life of ancient times. A devotee's goal is simply to serve Krishna as nicely as possible. Therefore, the devotees willingly accept beautiful mansions and all types of material opulences, not with any personal attachment, but only so these things can be engaged in the loving service of the Lord. If one engages such things with a desire to enjoy them, one falls down from the platform of pure devotional service. Materialistic persons are only interested in exploiting their so-called yoga practice in order to rejuvenate their sexual potency or to vainly remember their previous conditioned lives, thus applying mysticism to the endless search for sense gratification. They do not understand the actual goal of human life. Hare Krishna. End of purport. Om Gyananandasya Gyanan Ganan Savakaya Chakshuramitam Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Mam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishaya Bhutare Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitya Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Vajarine Nevisesha Shannavari Vasudharine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Translation again. When a person living in a temporary material body tries to construct a happy home, the result is fruitless and miserable. The snake, however, enters a home that has been built by others and prospers happily. Revolutionary statement in this Srimad Bhagvatam. Many revolutionary statements. Who will believe this? What materialist will believe that when a person living in the temporary material body tries to construct a happy home, the result is fruitless and miserable? Who will believe that? That's not what we were taught at school, university. That's not what the billboards are saying. That's not. What is this? It's revolutionary statements. The result is fruitless and miserable. Because the result of the material body is back to the ashes. When the result is, it goes back to the elements. The elements, the material energy is eternal, but it keeps transforming. So when we are eternal, and we accept in this transforming body as eternal also, permanent also, because we're looking for permanent happiness. But the body temporary changes, then the elements go back. The earth goes back to the earth, and the fire goes back to the fire, the air goes back to the air, and the water goes back to the water, which leaves us without a gross body. And then we're forced into another particular combination of these elements, and another endeavor, another try for to have a happy life. But all destined to failure. Everything ends in death. So it's just a march towards time, towards the edge of the cliff. And when your time is up, pop, you fall over. And then you take birth again, and every birth, every living entity, no matter what form you take, at least the moving living entities, they're all doing the same thing. They're all trying to improve their situation, hoping against hope that they'll find their niche and be happy. Maya. Krishna says, temporary, full of misery. So materialists don't like to hear these things. When you tell them these things, they don't like it. You burst their bubble, you pop their dream. They don't like it. So Prahlad Maharaj also in the canto says that, same thing, another revolutionary statement. The problems in life begin the moment you endeavor for happiness. That's revolutionary. It doesn't make sense, right? But if you look at it, if you see what is from his angle of vision, it makes perfect sense, because to achieve to fulfill your desires, we have this kunta, not Vaikuntha, kunta, this force in this material world, consistent of time and space. And that time and space is filled with birth, death, old age, disease, and all the other adhyatmic, adidevic, adibhautic, different clashes are there. So to achieve your objective, you have to pass through this space, or this time, a period of time. Time and space are synonymous. You have to pass through this period, which are full of these things we don't really want, to achieve your objective. So first thing is you take on trouble. As soon as you make a plan for your happiness, you have to endeavor with trouble. And in the third canto, Kapila Muni also confirms to his wife, I think it's Prabhupada said that in every material endeavor for happiness, there's a side effect, there's a concomitant miserable part. It's just like we take milk, and milk is very nourishing, good, healthy, and it's nice. But to take milk, you have to keep a cow, and that's very troublesome. Nobody likes the trouble, but that's how it is. Everything has its opposite side. Nothing's free in the material world. There's duties. Everyone is subject to duties. At least those who are interested in material life, in progressing in material life. The whole thing is duty. It means the grihastas have a lot of duties, because they have to be responsible for the whole society. The brahmacharis, vanaprastha, and sannyas, they don't have many duties, hardly any, because they don't have a house. The household is the cause of all the problems. Because you've got to maintain the house, you've got to endeavor to build the house, you've got to maintain it, and you've got to feed all the other ashrams. They don't work. You have to feed them. You have to feed the animals. You even have to feed the insects in your house. Make sure that your tick-tickies, they don't. Everything in the house it's your responsibility of the grihastha. So many rules. So but people don't like the rules because they're troublesome. But they're there. If you want, there's a facility, but look at the price you have to pay for it. Once while traveling, a baby was crying and crying and crying. Prabhupada said, this is a sannyasi's opulence. He doesn't have to listen to this. It's quite disturbing. But of course, for the materialist, or the grihastha also, it's like nectar, right? That crying, they like that. So according to the mode of passion, you won't be happy unless you do that kind of thing. Unless you do that, you're convinced like that. But if you're in the mode of passion, then you're going to believe that you're the doer, and the result depends on you, and you're going to work hard to achieve that. And that'll bring you. That's your happiness. There's actual happiness for them. in one sense, they couldn't not do it. Difficult for them not to do it. You have to follow your nature, you see. So here, Prabhupada uses this example about the snake. He said here a morning walk. We walk in this nice park, beautiful park. It's in America. He said, no one here. Not like Juhu. We go for a walk on the promenade now. Hundreds of people walking, doing this, that, yogas, and exercise. But he said here no one is enjoying this. They built a wonderful park, nice trees and flowers, but no one is coming. But we are here. We're enjoying. So it's like the mouse. He builds a hole in the ground, a nest. Much endeavor, and then the snake just comes in. He goes inside. He eats the mouse. Nice fat belly. He lays comfortably in his house. He's satisfied. No endeavor. He doesn't have that proclivity nor the propensity to actually make a house himself, but he just takes advantage. So Prabhupada said like that. We can use, as is mentioned in the purport, you can use all these material assets and gadgets. If we can use them in the Krishna service, then we'll use them. We'll accept them. It talks about palatial mansions, and if anyone wants to give a palatial mansion, we'll take it. We won't accept it. You want to give the nice anything. We'll accept it and use it in Krishna service. And that is proper utility of the material energy. So, therefore, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, I can't remember the exact words he used, but it's something like the devotees should have. He didn't use the word opulence or extravagance. He said that's theirs. They can have that. He said whether they want to live like that or not, that's another thing. He said, but it should be offered to them. Because they're the best people in the world. They should have the best because the only reality in this material world is by the association of devotees. Otherwise, you won't know what the reality is. So they're doing the greatest work. They're the greatest people in the universe, the devotees, because they're waking us up from our dream and introducing us to real life, our eternal relationship with Krishna. So they should be offered the best of everything. He says, use a word like, lavish, opulent, whatever. Whether you take it or not, that's another thing. But whatever facility is there, then we utilize that in Krishna's service. But obviously, we would like a facility. If someone offers to build a high-rise building here for all the devotees and brahmacharis, we wouldn't say no. Right? But not that we're going to work hard to do it. Let someone who has that good nature, kind-hearted, and has a passion to do those kind of things and the resources to do let them do it. to serve the devotees. So it's not. He says here that it's not that one should use it for your own. If you're using it for your own, enjoying the opulence, enjoying the facility, then you'll fall down from the path of pure devotion. So the devotees, it says, being concerned with the ultimate perfection of life, do not personally struggle for material advancement, because we know that's temporary. We're concerned with the ultimate goal of life is to develop our love of Krishna. And love of Krishna can be developed in any circumstance. It doesn't depend on geographical location or situation or varna or ashram. It just depends on one's sincere desire to surrender to Krishna. So that can be done anywhere, as we've seen in the most trying conditions, like in the ex-communist Soviet Union, where the devotees were actually tortured, put in prison, but still they carried on their Krishna consciousness and became very staunch devotees. So that's something that there's no material imposition to surrender to Krishna. What's to stop us surrendering to Krishna right now? It doesn't matter on the circumstance that we're in. Sometimes unfavorable circumstances are more congenial to actually surrender, because we realize we have no alternatives. Like Krishna personally, when I show favor to my devotees, I take away from them all their opulence. I pull the carpet from under their feet, as they say, and then the person becomes wretched, and all his relatives, all his material relatives reject him as worthless, useless. If you're not counted in their society and you're not getting money, then you're not considered very worthwhile. So then the relatives suddenly has no recourse but to surrender unto Krishna. That's Krishna's special mercy. So he says, we don't personally struggle for material advancement, and we don't also artificially try to imitate those great renunciates. Here, some sections like this section, it is stressing renunciation. It is detachment from all that is material. That's the name of this chapter. That detachment is all, and it's explained in mainly the Ashtanga Yoga process, and which will end up in bhakti, to meditation on the super soul. But in the path of bhakti itself is direct. All these other paths are indirect. The path of Gyan, Karma Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, or Shankya Yoga. When you achieve the result of following that practice, then you reject the practice. And but the path of bhakti is bhakti. So when we achieve the goal of bhakti, which is love of Krishna, then we carry on. We carry on doing the same thing. So it's a direct process. We don't have to change that. It's a direct process. It's just during that process, if one is sincere, then there's an awakening of your affection or your love or your dormant relationship with Krishna. That's a transformation that takes place. But in the other forms of yoga, when you achieve the goal, then you stop that. Then you give that path up, because it's a means rather than the ends. But bhakti is the means and the end in itself. So don't try to enjoy, don't try to renounce. Or as Prabhupada mentions in the Bhagavad Gita, don't try to get out of the body, and don't try to enjoy the body. So just think, utilize your time in serving Krishna, devotional service. That is what the living entity is supposed to be doing. So this is very subtle. It's difficult to comprehend how the devotees are also karmis, right? We're working for results, but the result is for Krishna. So the karmis misunderstand us, and the jnanis also. We also jnanis. We study and follow the scripture. We want to know Brahman. We want to know Parabrahman. So we're also jnanis. So it includes all of those paths, but it's misunderstood because all of those other paths, all of those other searches, practically it's all for sense gratification. Here it mentions in the and last purport, even the people are interested in exploiting their so-called yoga practice in order to rejuvenate their sexual potency or to vainly remember their previous conditional lives, thus applying mysticism to the endless search for sense gratification. It's the same thing. In the name of spirituality or mysticism, or it's sense gratification. Because ultimately, at best, they generally want mukti. Mukti is the ultimate sense gratification, right? Freedom from pleasures. So, mukti siddhi, mukti bhukti siddhi kami shakli ashanti says, none of them are peaceful, because they all want something for themselves. So it's all sense gratification. For the pure bhaktas, they want something also, and they're working for something, but it's for Krishna's benefit, not for their own benefit. So that's where it's misunderstood. The devotees are misunderstood. They seem to be doing everything like the jnanis or the yogis they criticize for eating opulent food sometimes, right? With ghee but we did Mahaprasadam, where we should be renounced and we engage in singing and dancing, which is a little frivolous, maybe. You should be grave, right? And so it's misunderstood, but we're doing for Krishna. You can do that. You're offering to Krishna and accepting the mercy of Krishna as his prasad. But otherwise, everything is for sense gratification, in the name of religious or spirituality or anything, humanitarianism or nationalism, whatever. It's all sense gratification. Everyone's hoping by following their particular path, their particular ism, they'll be more comfortable in life. That's all. That's the goal. They'll be more comfortable in life, isn't it? What else is it? Eradicate poverty, eradicate illiteracy, and increase the affluence, then everyone will be happy. We'll have money, we can buy many things, surround ourselves with many things, then we'll be happy. That's it. That's the goal. Nothing else. So whether they do it on a gross platform or as a agnostic, atheist or a theist, they're all doing the same thing. Right? If you're going to God, they're asking for the same thing. You go and pray to God, please take away my problems. Please give me this. Right? These are the main two prayers. It's okay. I mean, they're pious. They're going to God. Krishna recommends it. You go, whatever you want. Akama, savakama, moksha kama, whatever you want. You go, you worship Vishnu. That's recommended because that's transcendental. That's spiritual. You're approaching the deity. You're in front with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. So much benefit you're getting. So much purification. Although you're going for a material bargain. Look, I'll put on Kante and Tilak, but this is what I want. This is what I'm expecting from Krishna, from you. But what else can you do? Krishna says there's 4 kinds of pious people here in the Bhagavad Gita. He mentions them all. 4 kinds of impious, 4 kinds of pious. But out of them, there's no devotees there. Those 4 kinds. The wise man is the best, but he's going out of a sense of duty. He knows the Supreme Lord, I am His eternal servant, I should serve Him. But that's Shantaras. Shanta. Krishna's not much interested. Oh no, Gopinath, not much interested in that ras. Because there's not much ras there, is it? The yogas perceive the super soul. They see the Lord face to face, Narayan, that's it, perfection. But the reciprocation is, they're glancing at Him in great happiness and love, and He's glancing back and reciprocating that love. But that's all it is. There's nothing else. So it's not much fun for Krishna. You wouldn't like it very much. I mean, first day, first few hours it may be nice, if someone adored you like that, but, looking at you with great love, but they don't do anything, don't do any service, or then it may be nice at first for the ego, but after a while, what is he doing? So they want some reciprocation, then there's more rasa. That rasa is what everyone's looking for, the life, the taste of life, that's what everyone is looking for, experience. But that Shanta is very limited for the yogas. But that's it, they think seeing God is the ultimate thing, so they stop there. Then the Gyan is, they stop at the Brahman, they don't even get to the personality. They stop at the light. And that's it, there's nothing to do there. Nowhere to go, nothing to say, nothing to do. That's it, they're finished. That's because their philosophy doesn't say anything else, that's it. So that's not satisfying either. It's horrible, actually. Horrible. I had my eyes tested in the hospital, Bhaktivedanta hospital, and they put this white light in the eyes. It's really white, it's really bright. And they say, look at the light. I can't. When you have a cataract operation, and they put the thing on the actual lens of the eye, and you can't blink, and it's blinding light. It's horrible. Anyway, I think, what a Brahma Jyoti like? It must be hellish. You can't get the horrible, turn it off. Nothing to do, just it's blinding light. So everyone is self-interested. Only the devotee is not self-interested, and that's the pure unalloyed devotees. Until you've actually elevated ourselves, our consciousness, to the platform of nishtha, past nishtha, we have the same situation. We're in the same boat. Our main interest is our happiness. Right? What's more important, your happiness or Krishna's happiness? Who will say? What's more important? So it's like that, you see. We're going to Krishna, but we have some self-interest, our own motivation. But by understanding Krishna, by hearing Krishna, by Krishna's grace and revelation, then begin to appreciate Krishna for what He is. He is the most wonderful person. He is the most fantastic person. Most best friend, the most perfect friend you can have, and so then you lose interest in the lower taste of. Well, at that stage anyway, you've lost the lower taste. When the perception of Krishna, even if it's not, even if it's not so advanced perception, but even the first stage of perceiving Krishna in His name, just the feeling, even before the form, you actually perceive the form. That's enough to. That's the higher taste that you can give up the lower taste, because it's better than anything else we've had in the material world. It's better than any sense gratification we had before. So only when you achieve that, Krishna says, when you achieve the higher taste, you can give up the lower taste only by achieving the higher taste. You have to have taste, you see. So we can't let that taste in the material world we has, we can't just ignore it. We can't just let it go, because then we're in a vacuum. And we can't stop the desire for taste, because we are by nature rasa. We are by nature Satchitananda, so we can't deny that the desire. We can't deny that there's a hankering, there's a vacuum there for that experience of Satchitananda. So when that is met, then you're peaceful. You've got what you want. Then you can start to serve Krishna without any ulterior motivation. Then pure unalloyed devotional service starts. This is very advanced. So that's what one actually needs. Is because you can't get. Prabhupada says there's no question of giving up anything. You can't give up anything. How can we? Everyone wants to be happy. Nobody wants to suffer. There's no question of renunciation Well, there's no question of renunciation, as Srila Prabhupada quotes from Rupa Goswami, everything belongs to Krishna anyway, right? So what can we renounce? We don't have anything. Earth, water, fire, air, mind, intelligence, sky, hankara, this is all Krishna's energy. We don't know. So everything is Him. Everything is Him, directly or indirectly. So what do we have? We don't have anything. How can we renounce anything? The position of the soul in the material world is helpless, insignificant. But we're thinking we can renounce. We're thinking we can do it. We're thinking we're the doers. But actually, we're conditioned. We're being bombarded by these material elements 24/7, and we don't have any power to overcome it. But we're thinking we can. We're thinking like that in the Purusha Bhava. But actually, that's Maya. So there's no question of giving anything up. There's no question of stopping these desires. How can you stop them? Who doesn't want to be happy? Who doesn't mind suffering? It's not like that. But you change. Prabhupada said one changes the quality of desire. You have to desire. There's no such thing as desirelessness. Buddha was wrong. To become desireless. It means, okay, become materially here. This is what Buddha actually meant, Lord Buddha actually meant, detachment from all that is material. That you can do. Be renounced from everything material, but you can't be renounced. You're a thinking, feeling, willing, living entity. You can't stop that motion. You're an active principle. You can't see. There's a purpose of your existence, and that is to utilize your free will, your independence, to display your independence. So in the spiritual world, they'll display their independence in a way to increase Krishna's pleasure. But when we forget Krishna, when Krishna takes away remembrance of him, then we utilize it for something else, which is not actually real, temporary. We're trying to adjust this temporary material energy. So there's no question of giving anything up. You change the quality of your desire, Prabhupada said. You can't stop the desire, you change the quality of your desire. Prabhupada says, you know what you like, so now you do that for Krishna. You know what things are pleasing, so you do that, but for Krishna. So it's just, the whole thing is just to transfer yourself from being the center to Krishna being the center. That's the art of devotional, pure devotional service in the beginning stages. When there's affection there, then automatically you're going to do it. It means you're advanced that time. And you're satisfied also at that time. So there's no question of struggle. You don't feel that lacking once you've established your relationship with Krishna. So you don't have to endeavor for happiness. You don't have to endeavor to avoid the problems because you're situated on another platform. As Prabhupada mentions, they're also in that verse, in that chapter of Kapila, that there's no question of removing this. There's no question of happiness and distress in Krishna consciousness. It's transcendental. We don't have anything to do with distress. We don't have anything to do with happiness. We shouldn't. Happiness and distress are concomitant of this material world. Sukha dukkha. But Krishna consciousness is transcendental to that. We serve Krishna under any condition. Whether we're happy or whether we're distressed, Haribol. So we serve Krishna. That's the transcendental platform. Krishna consciousness is on the transcendental platform, spiritual platform. The happiness and distress is coming automatically according to our karma. Krishna can change. We can't do much about it. So your happiness is already fixed, your distress is already fixed. There, Prahlad Maharaj, revolutionary statement. Why you're endeavoring to avoid problems? Why are you endeavoring? They're coming anyway. You can't avoid them. You're endeavoring. You're endeavoring for happiness. It comes anyway. You don't have to endeavor. Whatever's your stock of karma in the form of happiness and distress is going to come. You can't avoid it. So why you work for it? So why waste your time trying to achieve it, what you like, the pleasure? And why waste your time trying to avoid the distress? You can't do it. It's already fixed. You've got to experience a certain amount of karma in this particular lifetime. But that's the whole material program. How to increase the pleasure, how to decrease the thing. Therefore it's called Maya. Life, material life of Maya, that which is not. You're wasting, and that endeavor to do that, you're just creating more karma. Wasting time. Wasting time. So the whole idea is to, don't worry about that, serve Krishna. So the karmi, he's trying to enjoy Maya. The yogis and the jnanis are trying to become detached or control Maya. But the bhakta is not indifferent. He doesn't try to enjoy, he doesn't try to control. Don't try to enjoy the body, don't try to get out of the body, just serve Krishna. And any condition. Whether it's troublesome times, it's bad times are coming, or good times are coming, it's one or the other, or in between. Right? That's it. We serve Krishna. And tolerate those, the good and the happiness and distress. Just tolerate it. And serve Krishna. Of course you'll be affected. But anyway, you serve Krishna in a happy mood, you serve Krishna in an unhappy mood. Don't stop serving Krishna. So it's just a question of redirecting our consciousness. With the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, it's not what we do, it's why we do it. That's the important thing. And then not only why you're doing it, it's how you're doing it. It means the consciousness or the bhava in which you're doing it. Because the wise man is showing it to Krishna because he knows he should, but he's not actually doing it for Krishna's pleasure. So why it's not what you do, it's why you do it, and it's not only why you do it, it's how you're doing it. But first we're interested in doing it, and then let the consciousness develop later. As one devotee told Srila Prabhupada, he doesn't like to pay obeisances all the time. He said, what's the point? No bother there. Why I'd pay down my obeisances? No feeling for it, so it's just a waste of time. So Prabhupada said, no, you pay your obeisances, the feeling will come later. Do it anyway, go through the motions, and the experience will come later, that's what we want. So therefore it's Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. We're going through the motions. We're going through the motions of bhakti. Because the devotees also, pure devotees are doing the same thing. They chant the holy name, they hear Bhagavatam, take prasadam and serve the deity. But they do it with bhav. They're doing it with affection. So we go through the motions, and then that itself is bhakti, Vaidhi bhakti. Bhakti is there, you see. So that purifies. We're staying in contact with Krishna by these 9 devotional processes. These are recommended as the best situation to put yourself in while you're in this material world, in material consciousness. The best situation to achieve the favor, the mercy of the Lord and His devotees. So, this is all revolutionary Srimad Bhagavatam for the materialist. It's completely opposite of what we've been taught. The whole world is going in the wrong direction. What to do? Anyway, it's a little porthole for 10,000 years. There'll be a little porthole. You can get out of the material world, go back to Godhead by Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Otherwise, stay around for Satya Yuga. You got a better chance next time. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Chowpatty Bhaktivinda ki jai, Gopamanandi. Finished? Question? No. Time to finish? We're over time? We're over time?